Good Friday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And welcome to KEPR Quick, your latest local news and weather commercial free in about 16 minutes or less. We're going to jump right over to weather because, Jefferson, quite a lot of haze and smoke in Yakima this morning.
Yeah, quite a lot of haze and smoke in Yakima. And what I will say is that as we go throughout the day, that's really not going anywhere. In fact, I would just kind of make a blanket statement across the entire region. Hazy sunshine is going to be the name of the game for today and tomorrow. I'm not anticipating terrible air quality. It was last week at this time on Friday that we were talking about widespread unhealthy air quality. In fact, a number of high school football games last week got postponed, if not downright canceled, because of that unhealthy air quality. Not anticipating a repeat scenario for today, but still hazy sunshine for today and tomorrow, definitely in the cards. Now, as we get towards Sunday, we are going to turn our attention to widespread rain showers, also gusty winds on Sunday before sunshine does return for next week. We'll take a look at these weather headlines in more depth coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in the Tri-Cities. Before dawn yesterday, local first responders and members of the community began to gather in Kennewick at the 9/11 World Trade Center Memorial to honor those who lost their lives. On that day, 24 years ago, nearly 3,000 people were killed as a direct result of the attacks, and thousands of others continued to die from responding to the scene in the aftermath, including a Kennewick firefighter.
The Tri-Cities did send, we sent, I think it was about 4 firefighters that went there immediately after to help orchestrate the search for bodies and the recovery. And one of those individuals actually died of a cancer related to his time at Ground Zero. So that is something personal here in Kennewick, that we lost one of our own because of it.
Stephen Bailey had served the Tri-Cities for over 3 decades before he died from cancer in 2020 as a result of the 3 weeks he spent helping at Ground Zero. Local first responders say they encourage you to take time to remember what happened and stop by the memorial. And as we remember those who lost their lives in the horrific September 11th attacks, the heroic efforts of the 343 firefighters who lost their lives trying to save those trapped in the World Trade Center will never go unnoticed. Captain Jeremiah Stilley with the Yakima Fire Department called the efforts from that day incomparable and honorable.
It's just something that's really hard to even envision and compare. What those firefighters did, the 343 firefighters that gave their lives that day, they were running into not just danger, they were willing to accept a risk of losing their life in order to help and save other people.
Now, he says the immediate mutual aid of several fire districts is what made the efforts even more special.
I mean, heroic, it doesn't even encompass what it is, because the timing of it too was impeccable, because it was that shift change. So what happened was there was 2 shifts, basically. Guys that were supposed to be going home that day jumped on the truck or the engine and drove to the World Trade Center in order to help their brothers and sisters go rescue people.
And from all of us here at KEPR KIMA, thank you to all those first responders that keep us safe. On to some crime news this morning. A Yakima man is facing serious charges of child rape and child molestation. Documents reveal after police received several cyber tips related to child sex crimes, the man was arrested near 40th and Summit View Avenue during a traffic stop. Police say they seized the man's cell phone as well as other items, finding video on that phone of the man engaging in sexual acts with minors. He now faces 8 counts of child rape and 2 counts of child molestation. And a lawsuit is being filed against Multiplan Incorporated due to antitrust concerns in insurance billing practices. The Washington State Medical Association is filing the suit, claiming insurance companies like Aetna, United Health, and WellPoint have been secretly sharing private pricing information with a third-party company to handle out-of-network medical payments. Leaders at the Medical Association are saying this creates a system that reduces patient access to preferred healthcare providers, and it limits the ability of providers to negotiate fair compensation.
The issue around companies refusing to make contracts with clinics and hospitals and doctors to put you in network, that's a bigger problem to me. Large insurance companies tend to restrict to some extent their pool of resources.
Now, our team has reached out to Multiplan Incorporated, but we have yet to get a response. This is an ongoing case, though. We'll provide more information as we learn more. On to some positive news. Property taxes are going down for some property owners in the West Valley School District. KIMA's Anissa Williams tells us how leftover construction funds are now turning into tax relief.
New schools built under budget are now bringing down property taxes in West Valley. The school board just approved a $7.5 million move that will reduce the local tax rate, not just for 1 year, but through 2028. The funds came from a 2019 voter-approved bond. And with construction now complete and under budget, the district is using a process called defeasance, a strategy that includes using extra funds to buy government securities, which lowers the tax rate on existing bonds.
We had very favorable bids that came in for the two projects of Apple Valley and Summit View. It was during COVID, so private companies were not able to do construction during that time, but public entities were. And so we had very favorable bids. This is very rare to have a school district defease money and bring the tax rate down. It's only happened once in the past 20 years in Washington State. But West Valley listened to the community.
After nearly a year of community forums, residents shared different opinions on how the extra money should be used.
Some people said save the money and use it for the school. Some said give all the money back to the taxpayers, and some people said, well, use some and give some back, and that's eventually what the school board decided.
Because the West Valley School District spans both the city of Yakima and parts of the county, its tax rate is a separate charge from those entities. Finch explained how this specific district tax will be affected.
The tax rate for West Valley School District taxpayers is going to be reduced 10 cents per thousand over the next 12 years. Well, the bonds that were sold to fund Apple Valley and Summit View go until 2038. And I think people like having a consistent tax rate, not having it jump up and down, something that they can rely on.
Reporting for Action News, I'm Anissa Williams.
KIMA's Anissa Williams, thank you. And the lower tax rate will be reflected in the 2026 property tax certification as the district begins working with Yakima County leaders and financial advisors to complete the process. And the results are in from the latest batch of toxic testing for toxic algae on our waterways. The Benton Franklin Department of Health saying samples were below recreational thresholds in everywhere except Scootney Reservoir in North Franklin County. Tested last week, results showed microcystin levels high enough to warrant a second test to see if it's above state recreational standards. Over at Howard Amon Park, though, those algal mats continue to linger and can accumulate along the shoreline. Pet owners should be cautious, say officials. As for the rest of the testing sites, they're in the clear. More info can be found up on the BFHD website. And with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan. Jefferson, as we see these hot temperatures, we're kind of in that prime time for that toxic algae season. That's according to the health department. But we're also still in the prime time for fire season. That's the latest check-in of the Wildcat fire, which is the fire closest to our area, hasn't changed much in containment, hasn't really grown, but it's still putting off that smoke. Yeah,
still a fair amount of smoke is being put out by the Wildcat fire and other fires that are still burning in our state. So let's just jump right in to the haze and smoke forecast. Now, it was 1 week ago at this time that we were talking about unhealthy air quality across several communities. And in fact, it was last Friday evening that several high school football games got canceled or postponed because of so much smoke in our skies. As we take a look at the haze and smoke forecast for today, there's still certainly going to be a fair amount of haze and smoke in our skies on this Friday. And that is also going to be true for tomorrow. However, at the time of this recording, we are looking at moderate air quality for a good portion of the region, and I believe air quality is going to be staying primarily in that moderate category as we do go through the weekend. I'm not anticipating that very unhealthy air quality that we did see last week at this time. Just be advised that there is still going to be that haze and smoke around. Here's a look at daytime high temperatures today. I would say in the Tri-Cities, we will likely see highs into the mid-80s. Mid-80s for the Yakima Valley today too. Low to mid-80s coming for the Kittitas Valley, with daytime highs in the low to mid 80s for the Blue Mountain foothills as well. Everybody will be looking at that hazy sunshine overhead for this afternoon. Now let's take a look at temperatures for the next 3 days after today. Tomorrow is going to be nearly identical to what we do see today, with highs into the mid 80s, low to mid 80s that is, with hazy sunshine overhead. By Sunday, we see a large cool down with low to mid 70s across our region, and then we will hold on to low to mid 70s into Monday. But what I will say is that as we get towards next Tuesday and Wednesday, high temperatures are going to be climbing back to the 80s. Now let's take a look at the Storm Tracker Futurecast. Fairly calm weather conditions through Saturday, but by the time we get to Sunday, namely Sunday early afternoon, we will be watching the possibility of widespread showers to return to eastern Washington and northeast Oregon. Now, this is going to be a very quick moving system. In fact, even by the late afternoon hours on Sunday and certainly into Monday, we will be looking at dry conditions region-wide once again. Just Sunday is going to be the only kind of showery day in the immediate forecast. In fact, even over the next 7 days, we will get back to partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies after we get through Sunday and through a majority of next week. One more note I would like to make about this weekend. Saturday will be a fairly light wind day, but on Sunday, when that next weather maker does roll through, winds are going to increase. So anticipate blustery conditions around the region on Sunday. First time we've been able to say that in quite a while. Right now, I'm going to toss it back to Dave.
Thanks, Jefferson. Folks are going to want to keep that forecast in mind because things are happening this weekend. The annual SAFCO Suicide Awareness for Colin Osmond event will be in Yakima's Randall Park tomorrow. The event is free to the public and honors the founder's son who committed suicide when he was 8. There will be resources for mental health along with games and even an opportunity to make lava bottles a favorite of Colin's.
And we are here to make this one day special for you, to give you a day where you can have fun and build fidget toys and talk to people that know a little bit more about your mental wellness than we do.
Now again, this event is tomorrow from noon to 3 in Randall Park. Just a reminder also, this weekend sees 2 days of beer, music, and fun with the return of a Hop Country Music Festival taking place at Yakima Sozo Sports Complex. The festival will be running both today and tomorrow night, with all proceeds going towards putting more youth on the fields with Sozo's support of soccer, lacrosse, and football throughout the year. The lineup for Saturday features 4 headline acts: Justin Moore, Ned Ledoux, and Austin Miller, as well as longtime local favorite Cody Beebe and the Crooks, who will be returning to the festival again this year. It is a 21 and over event, and tickets are available online at hopcountry.fun. Meanwhile, Sunnyside Sunshine Days, presented by Sunnyside Rotary, starts today and runs through Sunday. Everyone is welcome to join the oldest parade in the city of Sunnyside and a full weekend of fun in the sun. There will be vendors, live entertainment, a car show, a Greedo contest, tournaments, and the Miss Sunnyside pageant. The parade is on Saturday and the beauty pageant on Sunday. The city of Pasco is preparing for an annual event taking place this weekend, and they're inviting everyone to come check it out. We're talking the Fiery Foods Festival. It's set to return again this year, featuring local performers, food vendors, and activities, including several food competitions, such as a hot wing challenge and a pepper eating contest.
Festival is kind of a celebration of everything that makes downtown Pasco so cultural and vibrant and fun to be around. We've got great food, we're going to have great music, some local bands that people have seen at our music and movies in the park throughout the summer. We have one of the competitors from our Battle of the Bands on 4th of July. Just really a very local group coming together.
Now the event kicks off tomorrow at 11 in the morning over at Peanuts Park and runs until 7 in the evening. It is free to attend. And speaking of fiery foods, as Hispanic Heritage Month and Mexican Independence Day approach, Heritage University held their second annual salsa making competition yesterday. KMA's Aiden Connor spent some time at the event and caught up with some competitors.
Heritage University's salsa making competition brought a lot of hungry students to try salsas made by students on campus, along with some fierce competition.
Last year we didn't win, and I was like, you know what, second chance, we got this, so I'm pretty confident that hopefully we win. Hopefully, but by that I mean we're gonna win.
I had the opportunity to try a few of the different flavors myself, and while I started off light, I decided to give myself a painful challenge.
I'm here at Heritage University for their second annual salsa making competition. They gave me 2 samples here. One is what they say is their most mild, and one they say is their most hot. Best of both worlds. I'm a little bit scared right now. Okay, that one's not bad. That one's not bad. First one, not bad. They say it's mild though, so this is the hot one. I'm a little scared. Oh my God.
Along with the pride and bragging rights that come with winning the salsa making competition, the winner also takes home some spicy hardware.
So whoever gets the most tickets, votes, gets this wonderful chile pepper. It's very beautiful. Look at that.
HU Master Chefs, a cooking club at Heritage University, is looking to bring home the trophy with their own creation.
It'd be really nice because we're the club that cooks, so it would be very, very great if the cooking club wins.
The winner of the competition will be crowned the 2025 Salsa Champion. Ironically for me, my vote was on the very sample that had me looking like this. Reporting for Action News, I'm Aiden Connor.
KIMA's Aiden Connor, thank you. And Heritage University will also host an El Grito celebration today from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Tompanish campus. And that does it for us. Thank you for watching this episode of Keeper Quick. For more local news and weather, you can head over to our websites, Keeper and KIMATV.com, as well as our Facebook pages. But while you're here, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with our latest mini newscasts Monday through Friday. Have a festive Friday and a wholesome weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday.